Hi fellow traders, I'm making this video to share my trading plan of GBP JPY. I've already entered a buy position around 136.36, and now I'm going to explain to you what all I observed on GBP USD and USD JPY simultaneously to figure out this buy position. So we'll start with GBP USD. Before I go to those major pairs, I again would like to tell you that I always look at the major pairs to figure out trading position in any other pair, any other non-major pairs. That's why I looked at the major pairs. So here we go to GBP USD, and I'll start with 4-hour time frame. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, market has been trading in a uptrending channel, but we cannot draw a channel with the help of trend line, because if we join the trend line from this to this point, it will look like this. So we do not know where to join. It can be here if we consider this swing low. It can be drawn along with this swing low, then it will look like this. If we draw along with this swing low, it will look like this, but still this swing low will be below the trend line. So swing lows are not in such a slope that we can draw a trend line here. That's why I plotted Bollinger Band to understand what is the range. So inside the Bollinger Band, this is the range. So market has been moving like this, up down kind of movement. So there is a zigzag kind of movement, and that's why there was a high probability after this fall that the market will go back to the upper line of the Bollinger, or at least to the midline of the Bollinger. If you have studied the basic of Bollinger Band, the trading style of Bollinger Band is all about taking the buy or sell position at the outer Bollinger Band and closing the position at the mid band. So that's why I am expecting the price to move to the mid band at least. Now is the time to explain when exactly did I decide to take a buy position and what were the triggering factor. So I'll take you to the 1-hour time frame. At the beginning of the London session, price tried to go down but closed like something looking like a hammer candle, and then it started going up. And then a news came about the Brexit deal between the UK and European Union, that says that the United Kingdom is going to further negotiate. They are not walking away from the Brexit deal, so they are going to negotiate, and they will perhaps finalize a win-win kind of deal. And when there is a good deal, there is a good sentiment for pound. So that's why pound suddenly bounced up, and I wanted to see whether or not this bounce is going to sustain. So I'll show you the bounce. This was the bounce, and this was a sudden bounce to the upside, while GBP USD was already gradually moving to the upside in the London session. So this was a bounce of almost 78 pips. I wanted to see whether or not this bounce will sustain. So I wanted to see at least the closing of the half-an-hour candle. So I saw that the half-an-hour candle closed at a bullish candle. This bullish movement sustained. Sometimes what happens after such a bullish movement with temporary spike is the reaction to the opposite direction, because many people set their sell limit and they keep waiting for getting their sell limit triggered, and when their sell limit triggered, then there is sudden bearish pressure in the market, and after bounce it could return to the downside, which is why it is very necessary to look for sustainability of a bounce. If it is not sustaining, you should not enter a trade in the direction of the bounce. All right, so basically I waited for this, and then I decided to enter a buy position, and I wanted to close the buy position at the mid band. So it was this is where I decided when price was something around 29.33. At the same time, I looked at the USD JPY. USD JPY is also slightly bullish and trying to move to the upside, and there is room for upside movement in USD JPY. Let's look at 3 time frames, and then let's find a multi-time frame conclusion for USD JPY. So we'll start with daily time frame. We go to daily time frame, we see that there was A, B, C, D kind of development which was completed at 127.2% of BC retracement, which was also the 61.8% of AB, and that was also intersection point of this downtrend line, this red line. All right, so price reacted from here, moved downside, but it's still staying above this indicator called MACD predictor. Yesterday market closed above this, and today we'll have to wait for the closing. So there is a room for upside movement, and even if it is supposed to fall, there is still a room that it can go to the upside up to kind of 50 pips and touch this trend line. So we have at least 50 pips here. If we look at the 4 hour, there is nothing new here, the same ABCD and same trend line. So now we look at the 1 hour. As per 1 hour time frame, we can see this ABCD development to the upside, where this will be the smaller ABCD, A, B, C, and this D will be this AB equals CD. So here we have a room of like at least 26 pips. So I wanted to buy GBP JPY because GBP USD is going up at the same time USD JPY is also going up, so better to buy GBP JPY. So I took my position. I'll show you this was the development. The price was something around here, 136.33, and trade was executed around 136.35 something. So that is where my buy position was entered. Now is the time to talk about the SL and TP. Very simple plan is here for SL and TP. SL will be below this point, so the low of this candle is 135.655, so SL should be 135.635, 2 pips below the swing low. And I am targeting just equal reward. There can be bigger movement to the upside. GBP USD can touch not only just the mid band, can touch the upper band as well. Nobody knows now. USD JPY cannot just go for this minimum movement, can go to touch this trend line, or maybe can complete this ABCD. We do not know yet. I am trying to exit my GBP JPY just with the equal reward, because there is a contradictory bearish kind of scenario there on the daily time frame of GBP USD, which I'm going to show you right after explaining the risk and reward. So here I have a risk of like 70 pips, and reward is also 70 pips. So I have set my target at 137.06, something around here. So that's all about the GBP JPY. Now I'm going to GBP USD to show you that bearish scenario. That is why I have taken just an equal reward. I'm not targeting bigger pips. I'm trying to exit as soon as possible. So we'll look at the daily time frame for this purpose. If you look at this daily time frame, you'll see that we have got a kind of evening star pattern. If you know the candle patterns, this is an evening star pattern. We'll have to include these 3 candles. These 3 candles. So this was a bullish candle, then there was a small candle with a very small body, and then there was a bearish candle. This bearish candle should have been closed at least beyond the midpoint of this first bullish candle, and this candle did not just close beyond the midpoint. It closed something around the opening price. So this was a significant significant evening star candle pattern formation. And this candle pattern may work, may not work, we do not know, because last time when we got this, this bearish engulfing, it didn't work. It just caused a 29.5 pips downward move, and then market continued to the upside. But always there is no same scenario, because this resistance was not so significant, but right now we have a significant resistance that is 50%, and there is a chance that this time this candle can work. If a candle pattern is made in line with the previous trend from a significant Fibonacci retracement point, then we have to be very careful and we have to consider that candle pattern in our trading. That's why I'm considering here. Previous movement was a downtrend. This is a retracement kind of movement to the upside from this point to this point, because this is slower than the previous downward movement, which is why it can be considered to be a retracement. 50% Fibonacci retracement level of this whole move down from here to here is this line 50. Market made an evening star pattern right at the 50% resistance. That's why this is more significant than the previous single candle pattern. So I'm just trying to exit my buy position of GBP JPY as soon as possible. Maybe market can go up to this or this level, maybe 70 pips to the upside, 50 pips to the upside, and can still return back as long as price is staying below the high of this candle pattern. The high, this is the high, and that is 30.83. There will still be probability of downward continuation. So that's why I'm exiting my GBP JPY just with the 70 pips, just to make the equal reward. And there is no big contradiction in 70 pips movement to the upside, because if we look at this time frame, this is the high, and all I need is just kind of like 50 pips in GBP USD and 20 pips in USD JPY. That will give me 70 pips in GBP JPY. So there is chance that it can move to the upside, and it can give me the TP in my GBP JPY position, and then maybe there will be downward continuation, and this evening star pattern will come into the action. But there is no fixed formula. Market has nothing to do with my target. It's not necessary for the market that it must go and hit my target before moving down. So that's why I will move my stop loss to the break-even point. So my entry point is here. Target is 70 pips to the upside. As soon as market will just move 40 pips to the upside, my position will start running with the 40 pips positive floating, and I will just move my SL to the break even, just to protect from any risk, and just to protect from this evening star pattern that can come into the action anytime soon. So that's all about this GBP JPY trading. Thank you for watching.